Hello YouTube world, Pretend Farmer here. Not a real farmer, just pretending. It's officially spring here on the Pretend Farm, and I'm assuming no matter where you're at, it's probably spring there too. The weather sure is warming up nicely, and while it's not quite time to break out the sunscreen and the swimsuits yet, it's generally going to get progressively warmer from here. As the weather changes, you're going to notice changes with your chickens as well. In this video, I want to talk about some of the things that are going to change with your spring chickens. Let's get into it. One of the big things you'll start to notice is that as the bugs start to come out, the chickens will start pursuing the bugs. Now, chickens really love to eat grasshoppers and crickets. And crickets start showing back up in the spring as the weather gets warmer. One of the big changes you're going to notice is you'll probably see your chickens running out through the yard chasing grasshoppers and crickets as they begin to hop around. You'll probably notice between all the fresh grass they're eating and the bugs that they're chasing around gobbling up, they're not going to be going through as much feed. So summertime is really a nice time to enjoy a lower feed bill and not have to fill your feeder up as much. Now, spring weather can also bring lots of rain. In fact, April is one of the rainiest months of the year we have here on the Pretend Farm. Your run is probably going to get pretty swampy during this time period. We've had rain showers all morning here on the Pretend Farm, and as you can see, it's pretty soupy. That's just straight up mud right there in the chicken run. And if you try and walk through it, you'll just glide because it's so slick. One of the things you can do for this is to put down barn lime. Barn lime will not only help to dry the ground out, but it will neutralize odors, and it'll take care of a lot of bugs. Now, lime is used in everything from construction to gardening to farm use. So you want to make sure when you get lime, you're getting barn lime, because barn lime is safe for the chickens to walk through. There's other types of lime that can burn the chickens' feet, and then you got a whole new set of problems. So be sure and check with your local farm store if you're not sure about what type of lime to buy. Tell them you're getting it for chickens, and hopefully you'll have somebody knowledgeable that'll make sure you're getting the right thing. But you should be able to get barn lime. That should be the good kind that you're looking for. Pretend Farmer's looking out for you. Now, if you've got flower beds you treasure or you plant a garden, you better look out. Chickens love to start eating flowers and plants as they bloom. Can you imagine if there was actually flowers in there? Oh my goodness. They wouldn't stand a chance with Colonel Sanders. You got to have a plan to protect these flowers, or at least keep your chickens away from them if you're going to have your chickens out and running around. You know, you really can't give your chickens enough access to fresh, cool, clean water in warmer weather. These things here can get pretty nasty and slimy in warmer weather. So you want to make sure you're changing and washing that water out regularly so that they stay clean. It also doesn't hurt to provide a little bit of extra water in a pan like this, just in case the main water spills or something. Maybe they knock it over. It doesn't hurt to have backup water, just because all birds get thirsty and need lots of water, whether it's turkeys, chickens, anything. Another thing to note is chickens love cool, refreshing treats like watermelon, strawberries, blueberries. Anything like that in the summertime is a great way for chickens to get some good nutrition and cool off. It's just as refreshing to them as it is to us as people. My chickens love watermelon. They love it, especially on hot summer days. A lot of times your stores, they're selling watermelons for really cheap in the summer. Slice one in half, put it out there like a big bowl for them. I promise you they will clean it clear down to the bare skin. It'll look like an empty bowl whenever they get done with it. It's pretty cool to watch. And it provides entertainment for chickens that get bored in the summer. So rather than picking on each other, digging holes and that kind of stuff, a watermelon gives them something productive to work on that's good for them. It's just a really good thing. You'll want to work on providing your chickens a nice little shaded area for them to congregate whenever the sun comes up and it starts getting really warm out. Now, this might be more important for the middle of summer whenever it's really hot, but in the springtime, a lot of times the afternoon sun is a little bit more than they want, and it feels good for them to get out of it in the shade for a little while. The back porch is not necessarily a good idea, even though the Pretend Farmer is allowing it right now. Chickens do poop a lot, and they'll make a mess out of your porch real quick. Ideally, you'll want to have a covered run, or at least a place where they can go like a tree line or something and shade themselves. Now, even though these aren't in the chicken run, we've got pine trees all along the perimeter here at the Pretend Farm. These are great because they provide the chickens with hours of entertainment scratching in these dead pine needles for bugs. At the same time, they're hanging out in the shade, so they're cool and comfortable. You know, because it's so warm out now, I've been able to open up the brooder, and my chicks are at the age where they don't need to be around the heat lamp all the time anymore, especially in weather like this when it's up in the 60s pushing 70 degrees right now. Looks like the chicks have decided to venture out into their little run I've given them, and they're enjoying this nice sunshine here today. I would encourage you to step up the cleanings of your coop, especially with their poop. I've seen chicken poop get maggots in it after just being in there for about 2 or 3 days if it's nice and hot out. You don't want your chickens walking through maggots. You want to keep that nice and clean. So if you've been cleaning your coop out about once a week over the winter, you might want to actually move up to doing it twice a week, at least just to get the big stuff up. Fresh, clean bedding is essential in a chicken coop over the summertime. It's really important year-round, but especially in the summer, you want to make sure that your coop is squeaky clean. Another good thing you can do in addition to scooping up the poop and putting down fresh bedding is try getting some diatomaceous earth. You can sprinkle that down in the shavings, and that'll help take care of any mites should there be a problem with any. You'll notice your chickens will really go to town after you mow the grass. Chickens love freshly cut grass, and in general, they just love to be in shorter grass, period. They'll generally avoid tall fields where the grass is really high. They like to be in places where they can easily walk around and scratch and peck without getting tangled up in grass and weeds. Plus, they know they're safer and they have a less chance of getting ambushed if they're in a grassy area that's kind of low cut where they can see. It just makes them feel better. Most of the time, if a hen is going to go broody, it's going to be in the spring. If you notice a hen that starts changing up her behavior or setting on the nest box a lot more than normal, you might just have a broody hen. Now, just like the Pretend Farmer, chickens are most comfortable when the temperature's between 65 and 75 degrees. That's considered optimal temperature conditions for chickens. Of course, we know they can take temperatures much colder, and they can handle the heat pretty well too. But chickens do their absolute best when the temperature is fairly mild in the 60s or 70s. Until next time, this is the Pretend Farmer, encouraging you to get out there and enjoy this nice spring weather, and most of all, enjoy your wonderful chickens.